Okay guys, so now I'd like to look at doing it with air. And so in this case, if I'm gonna answer the question and air is included, I think this is the way it is on my key, that I'm going to look at it a little differently. Remember, you have a lot of prerogatives, so I'm going to look at it a little differently, but if I say there is air, which is what it says on the hints, I'm going to say the ball, the air, and you would write ball and air, okay guys? I'm just doing this because I'm impaired. And the earth, yeah. And so certainly the earth pulls on the air gravitationally. The earth pulls on the ball gravitationally. And and really what we'd like is to have arrows that look like this, okay? I may not do this through the whole video because I'm feeling impaired. But, and then of course the air rubs on the ball, which slows the ball and causes there to be a dissipation of energy to thermal due to the air rubbing on the ball. So things that can cause thermal energy to increase or to bleed energy away from the main energy are air, friction, deformation. All right, so I'm going to say, here's the deal. Draw my circles. They should be all the same size. I feel sad for that one. I wish I had a quarter. It's the best I can do, okay? All right, and so I actually think I'd like to have a fourth circle. I can do that if I want to. And so I'm going to, what happens if I go over here? No. I don't know, I kind of like to, so what if I don't know. So I'm afraid I'm going to screw something up here, so I think I'm just going to make the ball there. So that's at A, right? And the ball at B is here, it's going down, right? And the ball at C is, just about at the bottom. And then maybe I'm going to say that when the ball is totally smashed into the ground, maybe I'm just going to add one and call that D. Okay? I'm just making it up. All right. So if I say that kinetic is red, right? Kinetic is red. And gravitational potential is green. And this time it's going to be through the air because that's what the hints said. And then I'm going to make, let's see, I'm going to make thermal be yellow. So E, really big, thermal. Okay. All right, so we're going to start at the top, and it's going to look just the same, but if it were not already moving, then it would just be all EG, right? But I said it was moving a little, and so if it's moving a little, then there's a little thermal, right? Because it's pushing against the air a little. And then the rest is, okay, so we know thermal can only get bigger. So as it pushes against the air more, as it moves down, it goes faster, right? So I can just do this. It's terrible. And it rubs more against the air. So I've got, more thermal, and then it has still height between the earth and itself. And then in the end, and remember I added one, so at right before it hits the ground, then it's going to have a whole bunch of kinetic, yeah. Let me back that up, because what I have to do is I have to watch this thermal, and the thermal has to be able to get bigger. So it has, let's see, I'm going to make the kinetic be, so it's got to have more kinetic, so I'm going to say there, yeah, because it's going even faster. Okay, it's got to have more thermal, because it's rubbed against the air more. So I've got to have more than 1/4 of thermal. So if that would be 1/4, I'm going to make it have that much thermal. So more than I had over here. That sort of thing is what I'm going to be looking for when I'm grading. And then maybe I'm going to say it's just a tiny bit above the ground. These are things that I would write in words so everybody knew what I was talking about. And I'm going to say, okay, fine. So it's a tiny bit above the ground. Great. And then if I did one more with it completely squished into the ground, if it were completely squished into the ground, then it has to have even yet more thermal, right? So it's got more thermal, but it's not moving anymore at all. But maybe the ball is squished. So it has, elastic or spring. Okay, I didn't even write that one down. So spring. So if the ball is kind of splat and squished out, it doesn't really show that, but I'm just kind of teaching you how it works. Okay, good deal. Thanks.